10 ways humans might evolve in the future. Number 10. Smaller brains. Human beings are pretty damn smart. Yeah, occasionally we do dumb stuff like stub our toes or invent the Snuggie, but compared to every other species on Earth, we're frankly brilliant. Which is why it's kind of surprising that our brains have spent thousands of years shrinking rather than growing. For millions of years, the brains of human beings grew and grew, but for the last 20,000 years, our brains have been gradually shrinking. In fact, over the short period of time, well, short by evolutionary standards at least, human brains have shrunk by the size of a tennis ball. Part of this is just that humans are smaller than our ancestors. And as any mother will tell you, our heads are already as big as childbirth would allow. But another fact is that our brains are becoming more efficient. For instance, with information all stored for us online, the need for a massive memory section of the brain is diminishing. Increasingly complex and dense populations also make survival easier, and the risk of predators smaller. This allows human brains to focus more on things like communication and less on things like getting eaten by a lion. With technology improving and populations growing, there's no reason to think this trend will be reversed anytime soon. Number 9. Beaks. Ever stared at a duck and thought, God, that's sexy? Well, firstly, seek help, and secondly, we may have some good news for you. That's because, as weird as it may sound, there is genuinely a theory that humans will one day have beaks. In 2013, Dr. Fraser from the University of Sheffield found evolutionary similarities between human teeth and the beak currently sported by nature's favourite spiky airball, the pufferfish. Apparently pufferfish used to have individual teeth like our own, but they eventually fused together into a hard, single beak, and Dr. Fraser predicts that ours will do the same. On the plus side, Fraser claims a beak will be more robust and practical than teeth because they can't chip or fall out. It would also be less susceptible to wear and tear and would keep repairing itself throughout our lifespan. The downside, of course, is that you have to have a giant beak on your face. Number 8. Huge eyes. We all like Earth. It's got air, water, animals you can turn into Big Macs. But if humans are going to survive another 100,000 years, we may have to start thinking about getting a second home on another planet. That premise is the basis of researcher Nicolai Lamb's analysis into the future of the human appearance. With mankind increasingly having to adapt to the dark recesses of space, he predicts we'll go from this to this. Yes, that may look like the love child of Steve Buscemi and Atasia, but those huge eyes will be vital for future humans to be able to see in low-light environments. Fortunately, this is only one way humans might adapt in the future, and Lamb's other prediction of an enlarged forehead to house our bigger brains seems to go against our current trend of contracting craniums. Number 7. Muscle atrophy. Despite what the walking bicep at your local gym will tell you, it's not actually vital to be able to bench 300 kilograms and curl a dumbbell the size of your head. Muscles are great, but modern humans have no real need for that kind of strength. After all, you're not going to grow up to be Thor. You're going to grow up to be a middle-aged insurance salesman with 3 kids who hate him. And evolution apparently agrees, because humans have been growing gradually weaker. As we transitioned from our early monkey-like state, there wasn't enough food to fuel both giant guns and a powerful brain. Humans whose genes favoured smarts over squats were more successful, meaning they bred more and their bloodlines continued. Over millions of years, this has led to humans with great minds but relatively little muscle. With technology increasingly available to perform most manual labour, muscles will become more and more useless and brains more and more important. Number 6. Fewer toes. I hate to break the news to any foot fetishists out there, but pinky toes are completely pointless. When humans used to crawl, climb and shuffle about, the 5th toe was vital in helping us move. However, as we've left the trees and shifted to a more upright walk, all our weight started being moved through the main 4 toes. This leaves the pinky useless for anything except toe wrestling and telling you which piggy went to market. With no reason to exist, our little toe has spent millions of years slowly shrinking into the tiny stub it currently is, and evolutionary scientists expect humans will evolve into a 4-toed creature within 500,000 years. We wouldn't be the first creatures to discard a digit either. Cows, pigs, horses, and even dogs have all shed a toe for the sake of better performance. Number 5. A weaker immune system. When you catch the flu, it's not only chicken noodle soup and binge watching BoJack Horseman, they help you feel better. Your immune system is also fighting an internal battle to kill the virus and get you back to school as soon as possible. Bloody immune system. Actually, if you're a fan of popular activities like not dying, the immune system is vital. That's why it's pretty worrying that experts think it might continue to get weaker and weaker. As medical science continues to improve, humans are increasingly able to rely on pills and jabs to guard their health. This leaves the immune system with less to do and may lead to its capabilities being significantly reduced over the generations. Of course, the risk of this evolutionary direction is that it leaves us in danger of being wiped out by an unexpected pathogen. On the flip side though, future humans will probably be more resistant to diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Our high-fat diets mean that future generations may have to build up a tolerance for junk food, just like past generations have built up a great tolerance for lactose. So, future you will be able to eat as many quarter pounders as they want. Just don't let them catch a cold. Number 4. More attractive women. We have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that there are scientists that believe women are getting hotter. Part of this is down to obvious things like healthier diets and basic hygiene. After all, people tend to look better when they have all their teeth and don't smell of dung. But research by the University of Helsinki suggests that females are also getting genetically more attractive. A study of over 2,000 people found women who were more traditionally beautiful had 16% more children. However, this same gap didn't exist between couples with ugly and attractive men. With attractive women having more children, their genes are being passed on more often, bringing humanity's average attractiveness up. So fast forward a few hundred years and every woman will look like Zoe Saldana. That's pretty good, right? Well, the bad news is that in the future, you may not want to breed until your retirement age. According to Cadell Last and life history theory, the age of sexual maturity has historically increased in line with life expectancy. Once our life expectancy reaches 120, in around 2050, Last suggests humans won't become sexually active until their 70s. In other words, you'll be able to get with that hot girl you really like, but not until she's the same age as your granny. Number 3. Subclasses. Anyone who's read H.G. Wells' The Time Machine will know that it stars a wacky Victorian scientist who hosts a dinner party to boast about the time he travelled to the year 802,701. Because in Victorian times, even being a reality-bending super genius doesn't get you out of having to host a dinner party. Regardless, while in the future, the time traveller discovers that humans have split into 2 distinct species. The intelligent but weak Eloi, who live on the surface, and the strong yet dumb Morlocks, who hide underground. Well, according to the evolutionary theorist Oliver Curry, Wells' vision may not be as science fiction as we thought. Curry reasons that people are becoming choosier about their partners. This leads to those with desirable traits to mate with each other, leaving the less desirable to breed amongst themselves. Over the generations, this selective breeding will apparently create a tall, slim, athletic, and extremely clever upper class, and a dim-witted goblin-like underclass. What's more, Curry doesn't think it will take until 802,701 for this massive divide to occur. He predicts the split happening before the year 3000. Number 2. Monoethnicity. We all know the world is getting more and more connected by the day. In the 1800s, even moving across America meant spending months on end shivering in your wagon train, eating your cousins because you ran out of food. Now you can get on a plane and fly to another country just for a long weekend. This unbelievable connectivity has led to almost all societies becoming extremely multicultural, and more of us spend our time studying, working, and getting drunk with people from other ethnicities. Apart from pissing off the KKK, this melting pot of people also leads more and more of us to settle down and have children with people of different races, which really pisses off the KKK. Scientists believe that this interbreeding will eventually mix up our gene pool so much that individual race will essentially disappear. All human beings will be part of the same monoethnicity, which scientists believe will resemble the current appearance of Brazilians. Number 1. Cyborgs. So far we've told you that humans may end up being big-eyed, beaked and toeless, but there is also a more attractive alternative. Many scientists believe humans will soon be able to start combining ourselves with machines. In fact, Professor Yuval Harari believes that within 200 years, humanity will become a species of godlike cyborgs. It may sound far-fetched, but from pacemakers to prosthetic limbs, we already combine ourselves with technology all the time. And Elon Musk has just launched a project that aims to use computer chips to connect the human brain to an AI, presumably as a first step towards conquering the world and forcing everyone to buy Teslas. There's even a movement called transhumanism, devoted to mixing humans and cybernetics. With our minds capable of creating ever greater technologies, it seems like soon we could be all sporting infrared Terminator eyes and awesome arm cannons, just like Darwin predicted. If you want to learn more things about the human body that you probably didn't already know, head on over to Debunked, where we investigate the truth about shaving and hair regrowth.